Welcome back to The Explainer, designed specifically for you, the focused learner. Today, we're demystifying exactly how we unlock our true potential. And listen, we aren't dealing with vague, fluffy motivations today. No, we are looking at the concrete, provable psychology behind what actually drives human success. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So consider this for a second. Walt Disney was actually fired from a Missouri newspaper at age 22 because, get this, he supposedly lacked creativity. Crazy, right? And Oprah Winfrey, she was famously told early in her career that she was too emotional and just unfit for television. Both of them faced massive, crushing rejections. So what separates those who overcome these incredibly daunting obstacles from those who simply throw in the towel and accept defeat? Like, what is the secret engine here? Well, as pioneering psychologist Dr. Albert Bandura noted, if you think you can, you probably can. But here is the absolutely critical distinction we need to make. This isn't some toxic positivity or a fluffy fake-it-till-you-make-it buzzword. Believing in yourself is a provable, actionable, and highly researched psychological skill. It's literally a muscle you can build, strengthen, and deploy.
Here is our cognitive roadmap for today. 1. The science of self-belief. 2. Esteem versus confidence versus efficacy. 3. Why positive mindsets matter. 4. Rewiring thoughts with CBT. And 5. Building your self-efficacy toolkit. Let's move to the next part and see how this all builds from theory into practical tools. Section 1. The science of self-belief.
So the study of the mind has some serious historical weight. Back in the early 1900s, when psychology was totally obsessed with behaviorism, Mary Whiton Culkins introduced this revolutionary idea of the self as an active, conscious force. And despite being denied a PhD at Harvard solely because she was a woman, she used her own active self-belief to become the first female president of the American Psychological Association. Incredible, right? This laid the groundwork for Albert Bandura in 1977, who actually proved the theory of self-efficacy, basically our belief in our capacity to perform specific tasks. And then finally, in 2006, Carol Dweck brought us the growth mindset, proving that viewing our abilities as something we can develop rather than just fixed traits, well, it changes absolutely everything.
Section 2, esteem versus confidence versus efficacy. Let's untangle these clinical terms real quick. First up is self-esteem. This is your broad, global sense of self-worth. It's your ability to treat yourself with kindness and recognize your inherent value. Now, it's an absolutely essential foundation for your emotional well-being. However, as Bandura's research points out, self-love without the active motivation of belief can actually risk becoming passive complacency. You might feel perfectly content with the status quo, but you won't necessarily push yourself to grow or take on new things.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clinical data breaks down these thought patterns. A healthy self-esteem operates from that classic glass-half-full perspective. You value your own opinions and view your failures as just learning experiences. Conversely, low self-esteem kind of keeps you anchored in the past. You're heavily focused on perceived flaws, and you hesitate to take on new challenges. It fundamentally limits what you actually do.
Next is self-confidence. This is often treated like a broad personality trait, right? Like you might say, oh, I'm a confident person. But here is the trap. Research shows that global self-confidence often totally mispredicts outcomes when a person is dealing with specific, brand new challenges. It's simply too broad to be an accurate predictor of success in a highly targeted area.
And that brings us to the real engine of the whole shebang, self-efficacy. This is highly, highly targeted. It's your situation-specific belief that you can produce a designated level of performance. It's having a nuanced understanding of your own skills in a given context. Basically, self-efficacy is what actually predicts outcomes, drives your actions, and keeps you from throwing in the towel when things get tough. Section 3. Why positive mindsets matter. Let's look at the real-world benefits here.
The numbers really speak for themselves. According to the Journal of Organizational Behavior, optimistic employees are 31% more productive. To put that into perspective, that is a massive jump in output. Why? Well, because they aren't draining their valuable mental energy dwelling on negativity, hesitating, or obsessing over a fear of failure. When you genuinely believe in success, you immediately allocate your cognitive resources toward taking action, rather than just bracing for impact. And this brilliantly illustrates how that positive mindset is actually grounded in physical reality. Neuroscientific research by Moser and his colleagues demonstrated that individuals with a growth mindset literally exhibit greater neuroplasticity. So when they make a mistake, their brains actually show greater activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, which is the area associated with adapting and adjusting. Basically, a growth mindset physically rewires your brain to adapt after you mess up, building these deep, resilient cognitive roots.
Section 4. Rewiring thoughts with CPT.
So, what if you are currently stuck in a cycle of self-doubt? Well, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, provides a very clear framework to break out of it. It teaches us that situations themselves don't actually cause our negative emotions. Instead, it's our automatic thoughts about a situation that trigger our emotions, which then drive our behaviors and even our physiological fight or flight reactions, like that pounding heart or dry mouth you get when you're nervous. If you want to change your behavior and your physical anxiety, you have to intercept the thought first.
Often, these automatic thoughts are just systematic errors called cognitive distortions. We're talking about mental traps like all or nothing thinking, making sweeping overgeneralizations, assuming you can read minds, catastrophizing the future, or just labeling yourself a failure based on a single mistake. Let me break the fourth wall for a second and ask you directly. Take a look at these. Which of these automatic mental traps regularly sabotages your own self-efficacy? Think about it.
To escape these traps, we use cognitive restructuring. First, you actively identify the thought. Second, and honestly, this is absolutely vital, you stop and ask yourself, is this a thought or is it a fact? That question is the absolute quickest way to break down distorted emotional reasoning. If it's just a thought, well, it's just an opinion. Third, you reframe it based purely on actual evidence. You replace that catastrophic prediction with a realistic, manageable perspective.
Section 5. Building your self-efficacy toolkit. Let's get practical.
So the crucial point here is how we actually build this. Dr. Bandura outlines 4 sequential methods to build authentic self-efficacy. First, mastery experiences. Tackle complex projects step by step, because success breeds competence. Second, vicarious experiences. Observe positive role models. Hey, if they can do it, you can too, right? Third, social persuasion. Surround yourself with encouraging, supportive feedback. And fourth, manage your emotional states. Minimize that chronic anxiety so you can stay effective. It's exactly like the sustained effort of the little engine that could. That "I think I can" mindset translates directly into methodical, persistent action. And here is your rapid-fire daily toolkit. Break down your massive goals into tiny, bite-sized tasks. Engage in daily self-reflection. When a challenge pops up, embrace it as a learning opportunity, not a threat. Practice mindfulness to anchor yourself in the present moment, and always, always celebrate your small wins. As researchers at Charles Darwin University put it, you must make up your mind to become an advanced student in the school of life. These are active skills that require conscious daily practice.
So, we've covered the history, the clinical definitions, the neuroscience, and the daily tactical steps. You now have the structured tools to actively rewire your mind, intercept those pesky negative thoughts, and build truly authentic self-efficacy. The architecture is literally right there for you. The only question left is, what will you conquer first?